everybody, hope you're doing good. Welcome back to the studio. Still fucking freezing cold down here, but cracking on. So on today's video, I wanted to look at something from my live set, and this is a video that I've been trying and dying to do for so long, like 6 months. But as you can probably see, I've had loads of other stuff to do, loads of other videos to put up, music, gigs, but I'm kind of having a bit of a downtime from gigs and things at the moment, just for a few months. So I'm going to get around to doing a few other bits and pieces about playing live, my live setup, my kit, that kind of thing. So I had in mind to go into my live set in a bit more detail and break down the bits and pieces that I use and what they do. And today I wanted to look at how I use the Make Noise Strega synth in my setup. So I use this lovely little box quite a lot in the studio for making really weird sounds, and I also have it on my tabletop when I'm playing live with a bunch of guitar pedals, MIDI controllers and my laptop, and I've obviously got my guitar. So if you've seen any footage of me playing live or seen photos, you've probably seen this. And yeah, as I say, I love this. It's one of the best things I've ever bought for sound creation and sound design and just general awesome, very weirdness. It's bloody brilliant. Just thought I'd do a little kind of zoom in for you. So yeah, definitely recommended. So this is the Strega, or the Strega, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it, but it translates to witch in Italian, which is rather fitting for it. And I absolutely love it, and I have made quite a lot of music with this in the past. If you go to, there's a subscriber exclusive called Studio Tests Volume 1. There's a full album just dedicated to this with like a live video where I'm sat here kind of fixing stuff and like making like some weird jams. And it's also, those tracks are also part of the Boudoir Mementos Volume 3 album. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, this synthesizer. It doesn't do like a lot in a sense that it's not like this, obviously it's not like this size, but it kicks out like a fantastic sound, which I'm gonna like demonstrate in a second with how I use it. And it's one of those synths where you just plug the power in and you plug your output in, and it instantly makes a tone, and it's just awesome. And then I have a few patched cables in here, which I'm going to explain as well what they do. Just two actually, so nothing crazy. And I don't really know what a lot of it does because it's labeled really strangely. For instance, there are controls called absorb or activation, tonic. It's not like laid out like a regular synth where you have like your frequency and like filter and like resonance. There isn't really that on there. So it's very experimental, and there are these awesome like touchpads, squares and circles that match up together that you can put your fingers on, or anything you want really. I could probably put this on there as I'm doing this. Actually, that would kind of work pretty well. Yeah, you can like manipulate things that way. I've had this for a couple of years now, and I've been slowly getting into it and slowly digesting what it does and appreciating it through everything that I've worked on with it. And one day I thought this would be really cool as part of my live set, just to have kind of like trundling along, like always like kicking out a tone. I don't have to play it, although you can plug a keyboard in, but I just let it drone away. And yeah, it's definitely been a worthy inclusion for the live set. And I want to show you today just what it brings to my live set, how I like to use it, kind of like tonal things that it brings for me. And I'm going to start by plugging it into the main computer, and I have my current live set here with all of the plugins that I use on this thing to make it sound like effecty and spacey and that kind of thing. And this is taken directly from a current live set, so everything's kind of up to date. And then once we've had a look over here, I'm going to set up over there and kind of have like a live jam, a kind of an intro to the track Harlow's Experiments from my live set, show you a bit more detail like how I apply it to an actual live set as opposed to just sat down here. I'm also going to put the audio from the jam session on the Bandcamp as an exclusive, so definitely check that out. But I think for now, I'm kind of done speaking here. I'm going to swing you around. We're going to have a deeper look. I'm going to screen record. Going to turn on effects, turn them off again. Just go into the controls a bit and you can see just how I use this in the live show. So, 2 seconds. Okay, so here we are at the desk with the Strega. And I also have up here my live set just on my big computer before we move to doing a little live jam. I've got it on my big studio iMac, and yeah, this is what my live set generally looks like in terms of how it's like formatted, the structure, have everything color coded for my tracks. So first track pink, then we've got this green one, and yeah, T transmissions, HE Harlow's Experiment, ET Empty Theatre. So it's it's kind of a simple set. There's nothing too crazy going on in here. Most of it is because I'm playing guitar, so I don't really have a lot of chance to improvise. But over towards the right hand side, I have a few instrument channels. I've got my guitar channels and things, pedals, reel to reel, and of course a little channel here for the Strega. So this is a channel that's always on. It's the record function is always on when I'm playing, and so the Strega can just kick out tones that I can just bring in and out whenever I want. Speaking of which, let's turn up the volume. Okay, so, and a bit of filter as well, just to get a bit of tone. Whoa, wow. So this is how it generally sounds. Pretty cool. Nice and weird. It's very 9 Inch Nails in a box, if you get me. Quite conveniently, because Alessandro Cortini designed this unit, who's the keyboard player for 9 Inch Nails. So it sounds very cool and weird. So, very important is this filter control, which I'm using quite a lot in the set. Turning up and down, acting as like a volume control. And over this side we've got a control called Tones, which is kind of switches between like deep sub to mid to like an octave higher, I think. So you can blend really nicely there like that. We've got a really cool delay function here, and like a delay function. And like a delay time control, which you can just like twist around and create some really weird stuff. This control I really like as well, the absorb, and it's kind of like a white noise, like hissy generator type thing. Kind of like distortion and white noise and things. So these are the controls that I'm using a lot playing in the set. And you'll notice here I've got a patch cable. This is a really cool part of what I do. When I want to create like a build in the set, when I want to create like some volume and some kind of chaos, I patch an output of the instrument into the input of the instrument. So it's like running the audio like that and feeding back on itself. And I use this kind of gain control to heighten that. So if I'm thinking, okay, I want to take a break from playing guitar, and I want to just like reset my brain, just grab this, and make everything go even more crazy. You can hear it feeding back. And then we can maybe a bit more white noise, and then I'm kind of done. So this is the Strega. It's kind of raw. I don't have any effects on Ableton in this. I'm going to look at that in a second. Also is a really cool thing to do is turn down this like envelope for the filter, and then this controls like a kind of a like frequency, like an LFO. As you can see from the like LED there, very creepy stuff. Turn the pitch down a bit, turn the pitch up a bit. Oh, sorry, the octaves. Blend this back in. Yeah, really cool. And very, very quickly, I want to show you the touchpads. These two are my favourites to play with. You can hear it kind of da. That's a really cool effect. Adds like a squatchy resonance to it. So during the set, I will kind of like grab these and turn this up. It's a very physical instrument. It enables us to just, you know, go a bit crazy and just like grab something. So let's get back to normal. Now we're going to look at the Ableton screen. So this is on my Strega channel, and I've got, starting off, my first like kind of insert is tuner. Kind of boring. Sometimes it reads, sometimes it doesn't. Here we go. So most of my set is in the key of C minor. I just love playing in that key. It sounds really good. I can play guitar in C minor really easily. So I tune the Strega to the note C using this knob here, which I'm not going to touch because it's very delicate. But this synth you have to tune manually, which is, I don't know, it's kind of annoying, but it's kind of cool as well. I don't really know much about tuning modular synths and things, but at first I hated it, but now I really like doing it. It's just weird, but I need to know what note I'm playing, so this teaches me, this shows me, and it's usually around C or, you know, can't get it bang on, but that's good enough for me. Next thing I do is I have this spectral resonator on, which makes everything sound very, I don't know, like synthetic and fizzy. And I just, like phasery, I really like this insert in general, so I have one of these on there. Next thing is I have an EQ8, which I use to kill some of the low frequencies. And then after that I have another EQ8, which I control with my MIDI controller to be able to do that, which is awesome. And that's how I control the kind of volume of the Strega. So when I want it to disappear, I will drag that down. When I want it back in, I'll put it up, just so that I've got full control of what the hell is happening. So the next thing we have is this effect group. I'm just going to turn on very slowly. Okay, so in this group here, I've got some kind of more crazy effects, starting with an echo insert, which makes everything really spirally and kind of like disgusting, kind of tape, like grainy. Oh, awesome! Lovely echo, and you know, yeah, maybe if I just filter down, you can hear some of the tail off there from that. Oh yeah, that's great. It's very kind of like warbly, modulated kind of tape, this thing. Next thing we have is a Guitar Rig 6 with, I think, yeah. So on this, I've got like a Leslie rotary speaker type of effect, which is making this like flangey, phasery, squelchy, like vintage kind of sound. I love Leslie speakers and all that kind of thing in general. It's quite psychedelic, so I wanted to put one of those on, and I think it sounds really, really cool actually. I'm a big fan of that. Next I've got some reverb, so everything's kind of big and spacey at the moment with this on, and then after that I've got these two paired up together. It's an LFO effect generator type thing, which is modulating some auto pan. You see these two controls here are moving along with this, and it makes that stuttering kind of effect. Just to add some movement to everything. Let me turn off the effects, you'll be able to hear that a bit better actually. As this goes up. So you can hear it kind of juddering along. Yeah, I like this LFO unit because it adds like unpredictable movement, and it's not always the same every time. It's just really cool to have. But yeah, this is my live channel for the Strega synth when I'm playing. Let me just change some tones a little bit so you can hear it a bit better. Some absorb, and make it feedback. And this is how it sounds in the context of the live set, just on its own. It's really good because you can just grab these controls and play with them live and get like instant craziness. Sounds really cool. Yeah, so it's not a crazy effects channel. Just a few key pieces in there, just to change the sound a little bit and make it kind of a bit more washy and a bit more atmospheric. But I think now's a good time anyway to take things to the live context. And I'm going to set up behind me with this, with my guitar and the pedals. I'm going to run through a little bit of Harlan's Experiments, just like the intro where I use this thing probably the most. I kind of do a Strega solo during that intro, and you can see exactly how I'm doing it in the set. So give me 2 seconds and I'll spin you around.